Hey guys, it's your girl Tara Crush back with another review, and this time I am reviewing The Haves and the Have-Nots season 2 in its entirety. Oh my goodness, before I get started though, because I'll be forgetting, if you will, please hit my subscribe button. If you don't want to know every time I upload, don't ring the bell because you just be, frustrated with how many times I upload and you'll unsubscribe. And that's not what I want. I want to keep you around. Okay, so this season was everything. I have made some notes for myself, but y'all know me, I like things to be organic. But I will try to refer back to my notes if I get lost or if I feel like I'm missing something. Okay, so the order in which I want to talk about things, I want to talk about Candace being kidnapped first. Candace was kidnapped by Jim's people and basically under duress, made to sign over her car, made to sign an affidavit saying that she was in love with him, with Jim, and a paper to drop the lawsuit that she filed for Amanda to get her inheritance back. He tells his peoples to kill her. They take her out to the woods. They don't kill her, but they scare the crap out of her by shooting the gun close to her ear and making her think that she was dead. Okay, so she gets back to town or whatever. She's all beat up and whatnot, has everything taken from her. And so she goes to see her homies in the hood, talks to War. War lets her know that Quincy had been around there looking for her. Who is Quincy, you might ask? That's her baby's father. That's the one that beat her up beyond recognition, that Benny had to take the mortgage out on the house for. That's the one that supposedly killed her son. So he's a very dangerous person. And y'all remember how he got out, right? Veronica got him out in 24 hours. He was on death row. Veronica got him out in 24 hours because she wanted him to kill Candace because Candace was causing so many problems for the Criers and the Harringtons. So she's the one to let him out. So everybody was shocked to even see that he was out. But he went to Hannah's house looking for Candace, and she wouldn't basically tell him where she was. And he had her grandson with him, so she was vulnerable. But she still didn't tell where Candace was, and he smacked the crap out of her, and she told Benny. Ooh, Benny did not like that. Y'all know that already. But I'm coming back to that. Okay, so right now, Jim thinks he's running for governor. He thinks, he done got rid of Candace for the very last time. He's got this big announcement in the morning. Mind you, Wyatt's been there in his feelings about everything, about almost going to jail, about how his parents got him off, and everything. Well, Candace basically sends Jim a text while he's in bed. Well, Catherine's putting him out of bed. He's getting out of bed. He looks at the text and she's like, Jim, I'm sorry. Come to the pool. Let's talk. And he falls for it. He goes outside and he's looking around. He's got his cell phone. He's about to call her. Then he looks up and he sees about 10 thugs coming to take him. And they kidnapped this butt and put him in the basement, in War's basement. And I thought that was smooth. Like, ooh, you was going to go talk to her. Jim, you knew better, see? See? That's what people think People don't believe fat meat greasy. You already knew what that girl was about. You already knew. What was you going? What was you going to talk about? There was something to talk about. You almost had her killed. You trust her? I wouldn't. I wouldn't trust me. I wouldn't trust me, not if you almost killed me, sir. Oh no, sir. Oh no, sir. You don't want to listen to me. I don't want to talk. I'm gonna talk with these fists. I'm gonna talk with these fingers. I'm gonna kill you. So that's what he gets for going out and seeing what she wanted. He got kidnapped. Okay, so let's talk about Veronica outside of this hotel room trying to get inside. Now, mind you, she done came to the hotel because she calls David and David didn't answer. Mind you, David had called her a little bit before and she didn't answer. But I guess she had a change of heart because her women intuition started going off. So she calls him. He don't answer. Immediately, she gets up and gets dressed. She's like, we're going to the hotel. We are not doing this. We are not doing this. So she goes to the hotel. And of course, his room is locked. So she calls the front desk. She's like, look, this is Veronica Harrington. Please come and let me in my room. I lost my key. The guy basically leaves her standing there. She calls again, where are you at? And he's like, we got a protocol. We can't just let you in the room. Blah, 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 blah. And so she's pulling her weight, basically saying who she is, calls the owner. They come up, let her in the room. She go in the room. And she don't see David. She see his suit. She see his suit jacket. The suit is wearing a marble, and she sees his phone, but she doesn't see him. So she sits on the edge of the bed, just thinking like this, like a crazy person. And little did we know she was losing it up here at the same time. So, you know, where was David? David was in Maggie's room, which was adjoining. Remember, Maggie had her room moved to right next door to his because she's a slut, and that's what sluts do. My room is gonna be open. I'm gonna leave the door unlocked. Husband of hers. I don't like homewreckers. I don't like people who try to seduce and know that they dealing with it. I don't like that. But he went over there. They made out clearly, but he did get a change of heart before he went all the way with Maggie. And Maggie was going to take it all. She was down to take it all. And, you know, when you really want somebody, you can definitely look at their partner and be like, see where you would do things differently if that was your man and blah, blah, blah. So she was doing a lot of that. So much so that she had his wife followed because the wife kept accusing them and they wasn't doing anything. But y'all got to understand, Maggies of the world, y'all was doing enough to make suspicion. If every time I come in the room, you in my husband's face, I'm going to have a problem with that too. You can talk to him. You ain't got to be that close. You can go on the other side of the desk. You don't have to come over here where you're in touching distance, where you can touch his shoulder and touch his head and all. Nah, honey, move. I'd have been the same way, Veronica. Because it's not my husband I don't trust, it's you. It's you, devil, it's you. So, you know, I didn't really like they went over there, but Veronica definitely made him know that she's not the one to be played with because she smacked the mess out of Maggie over and over and over again. She smacked her over and over and over again and basically would not listen to anything David said. She started drinking again, and we all know she's been in recoveries. Apparently she has some type of drug addiction to painkillers. So she's, you know, so now she's sleeping alone. And mind you, Quincy comes to her house, basically trying to get into bed with her, about to have sex with her, about to rape her. And she has to send him off like, you go do what you're supposed to be doing. You know, still nobody knows how the fuck he got out, but it was her. She actually has him go to her son's apartment and beat him up because she wants him to beat the gay out of him. That don't work. That don't work. Let me tell you something. A straight man don't want nothing up his boo-boo. He don't want to put nothing up another man's boo-boo. He don't even want to lay with another man. So if a man says that they are gay, they are gay. They are gay. There is no way around it. If you are a mother and you act anything like Veronica, shoot yourself because you are the reason that these kids, these gay teens or whatnot, are killing themselves because they can't live in their own truth. I actually had an argument with my cousin today about this. He's a black Trump supporter. Oh, I know. Don't judge me by him, okay? But I was just basically telling him, why do you feel like you have a right to make a decision for somebody else? The Republicans are all about controlling what people do. They don't want a free country. They don't want free will. You know, so that's neither here nor there. Veronica suffering from the same things, thinking that, you know, if he gets some coochie, he'll love it. No, they don't. They want that. And it's not going to work. But she pretty much set him up to get a girl pregnant. Basically had that girl rape him because he didn't say yes at all. She just went down on him and he just let it happen. So she got herself pregnant and would not leave. He didn't understand why she wouldn't stop messing with him. He done kissed the guy in front of her and everything. And she's still there. And he's like, what is wrong? And Candace is like, something's wrong. Something's up. Because, you know, why is she doing that? Well, lo and behold, Veronica was blackmailing her and her parents. Basically, Veronica gave money to pay their medical bills because the father has cancer or whatever. And she's making her do this in return. Or she's going to take all the money back and all of this other stuff. So she's pretty much making her, you know, marry her son. Because once she got pregnant, Veronica decided to put a wedding announcement in the paper. Now, mind you, finally, Jeffrey gets the nerve to actually stand up to his mother. And that made me feel good. Because mothers have a way of trying to control you completely. And I'm going to get to some of that when I get to talking about Hannah and her relationship with Candace. But she finally lets Jim go. You know, he's kidnapped, but she lets him go. But not before she makes him approve a $7.4 million wire transfer. She makes him sign an affidavit saying that he was stalking her and this was a settlement and whatnot for that. And she's something else she had him sign. Well, he signs all of it because he's trying to get to the press conference because he knows the press conference is about to happen and he only has this much time. He's like, damn near asking her, can you take me? But she give him a bus pass. I was done. You got to catch the bus. And then he out there trying to catch the bus and he in a bad neighborhood and they're like, hey, you put my brother away. Jim was in danger. And nobody cared that he was a damn governor either. He kept on, hey, do you know who I am? I'm running for governor. I will have all of you fools shooting basketball in Pelican Bay. Shoot program, fool. So he finally gets out of there. And, you know, he actually gets a woman to take him. She's very weary of him, but she knows who he is. But she takes him anyway. And she's like, are you sure you don't want to go home? He's like, no, I want to go home. I want to go to the office. She's like, ain't nobody going to be there. Y'all remember why? Mind you, he don't even know his daughter done killed herself. After he left and he was kidnapped, she killed herself. We know that from the end of the season where we know that there was a gunshot, but Hannah found her body. He don't know about none of this. The news know about it, but he ain't been around no TVs to know. So the lady driving said, well, with a tragedy like this, I would think you would want to be at home with your family. He's like, what are you talking about? What tragedy? She was like, your daughter, sir. She's dead. She killed herself. Yes, and that's how he found out that Amanda killed herself. Now, mind you, Hannah found her, but Wyatt saw her, and that made him completely lose it. Now, mind you, when his father got kidnapped, he dropped his phone. Wyatt found it. Wyatt went through the phone. Wyatt saw every message from him and Celine about when he was at some baseball game and got abused by the priest. His dad couldn't make it and said he was working, but he found out he was with Celine on that day. Finds out that he got two brothers with Celine and just feels like totally betrayed and feels like, why all of this for a perfect image? So that's when he decides that he's going to talk to the DA. He calls the DA, tells her he wants to tell her about some things, about the accident, how it happened, and everything. So she comes, she listens to him and believes him, and she goes to try to start building this case. Mind you, her boss is like, no, we got a confession. We are not doing this. And she's like, but it's not real. It's not real. And so she keeps pressing. Now, let's see. Candace, you know, she got this new money, $7.4 million. And she's just excited. So she starts buying shit. Of course, she bought a bunch of clothes and shit because she's vain like that. But she also bought 2 houses and a tow lot for her brother. Now, I can't understand for the life of me, as close as Candace and Benny are, why she felt like she needed to lie to him about where she got the money from. I mean, she had Jim signing an affidavit. So all you got to say is, this is a settlement for me being harassed. That's where I got the money from. All problems are solved. Like, that's all you had to say. You could have told that to the... That's all you had to say was, this is settlement. This is settlement money. This is mine. This is free and clear. Look, here go my paperwork. Here go my wire transfer. What do y'all want from me? Yes, I pay cash for this house and that lot. Next. But no, then we wouldn't have no show, right? If she just told the truth, and you know, that's too much like right. So she, of course, Hannah don't believe nothing she says. She makes this whole lie to her brother about getting a $250,000 advance and, you know, working at this law firm, has Maggie make the people put a name tag on the door so it really looks like she works there. And Benny's just going along with it. But why didn't you just tell Benny the truth the first time? Like, I don't understand why people lie when the truth will do just fine. Like, really. So now every time Hannah says, I don't trust her, she's a crook, she's a thief, she's a scammer, blah, 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 Benny is defending her. Now, Benny realizes that, you know, at some point, Quincy hit his mother. So now he's looking for Quincy. He about to make Quincy pay. So he finds Quincy. He crashes the car he just gave his mother. And, you know, basically beats Quincy up, takes his wallet, pulls his ID out, sees the address, and goes to get his nephew. Of course, the sister's like, get out of here, he's not here. He's not here. He was there. And he took him. And he took him to his mother and whatnot. So that was beautiful. I thought that was beautiful. But I'm going to start talking about the dynamic between Candace and her mother. The hatred that Candace's mother, Hannah, had for her is so indicative of a lot of mothers in that baby boomer stage. Like people, like my mother's age people. They have some of the nastiest relationships with their daughters. Or maybe it's just the people I know. But I don't know what they went through. I don't know what them 20s, the 1920s parents, the people that was born in 1920s, I don't know what they went through that they put their daughters through. That made their daughters put us through some stuff. So it was all coming back to me. All of the language, you this, you that, you this, you that, and you ain't never loved nothing. You ain't never loved nobody. How you gonna say never? That's some narcissistic stuff. Gonna tell her she didn't love her baby. How you gonna tell me I don't love my baby? Like, seriously. And the problem with them type of mothers is they mess up their kids, and then they feel like they're gonna take their kids so they can have a do-over. There's more than one way to skin a cat. And one thing me and my mother used to argue about is, procedure and the way you do things. I'm like, I don't want to do it like that. I don't want to do it like that. But we'll get to the same result. She get mad and think I'm a bad parent just because I'm not doing it like her. Like, no, I saw you raise me. I'm never going to do everything like you. I was there. I saw you. So no, Mom, no. So I was really angry with Hannah telling them people that her daughter wasn't nothing just so that she could have the baby. Just so she could have them. No, I wasn't feeling that at all. So if I've made you mad with that statement, I'm sorry. But that is wrong for you to try to take this girl's baby without her, let's see if she's grown any. You think you've grown in these years because now you don't even want to have sex or nothing, right? So let's see what she can do. But no, she want to throw under the bus and say, I want custody, give the baby to me. No, you had your chance for Candace and you let her get molested. Let's talk about that. See, a lot of these mothers, they have things that happen to their kids and then they don't want to hear the kids talk about what they did, but they want to always find fault in what the kids do. I think Tyler put his foot in the script to write this the way he did because, I was literally triggered, ready to fight Hannah's. I was ready to fight her. And now she done became the hypocrite because she takes the baby because the judge gives her the baby, but she knows she ain't even got no house to go to. She gonna sit there and tell Candace that living in a hotel is not stable, but why didn't you tell the child welfare worker that you didn't have a house and that you would be staying in a hotel? Is that not the same thing that Candace said? I hear you. I'm sorry. What was that? I'm listening, Hannah. Thank you so much, a woman of God, but you showed a scheme that Child Protective Service lady, didn't you? You schemed her because she didn't even know you ain't have no address and you didn't say nothing. So the apple don't fall too far from the tree. That's how you know. That's why she mad at Candace, because she sees so much of herself in her. And I don't know what these next seasons is going to bring, but I bet you a lot of what Candace is what her mother was. I'd be willing to bet. Because they can't stand to see themselves. They can't stand to see their shortcomings. Especially after they done got the Bible put between things, Now they really think they saved and delivered. So, moving forward. Let's talk about Jeffrey. Jeffrey and his relationship, or not relationship, with the girl that his mother's basically set him up with and set him up for failure with. If you are a mother like Veronica and you don't like, homosexuals, or you don't agree with them, shoot yourself or something, because it's just wrong. Like, I get so tired of hearing about kids killing themselves because the parents won't accept them for who they are. And sometimes the parents don't even have a clue of who they are, but they talk so much nasty stuff about gays in the presence of the child that the child already knows how they feel about them, if that's who they are. You have to be very careful the things that you say about around your kids, because you don't know who your kids are or who they are aiming to be. And with Jeffrey, he was just gay, straight up, when he finally got comfortable with it. I don't think he was comfortable being gay in public when Candace took him to that bar, but yeah, he was definitely gay, and she was definitely doing some vindictive stuff to try to make him. make him be straight. You can't do that. That doesn't work. And then when she found out about Maggie, she just started going crazy. I mean, drinking ridiculously. At one point, when Benny beat up Quincy, he called her because she was his old attorney. He called her to see if she would help him out and get him out, and she did and got the charges dropped. But she was drunk when he called her. So when she went down there, she wasn't able to drive back, so she asked him to drive. And then she looked at him and she realized how fine and sexy he was, because he is. And he is. And she said, "Ooh, wait, let me have this little young meat for a change." Because mind you, she's really thinking her husband cheated on her. And so she gives him head. That's what it looked like, because her head went down and his head went back. So that is the head position. And they continue to mess around. At one point, Maggie's got somebody following her. And they're like, "Well, she's at this house in this bad neighborhood, and I don't know what she's doing here." Maggie's like, take pictures. And, she comes out. Actually, no. She tells David and asks David to go see about his car, because she had a GPS tracked. Because she had asked him about it. He didn't know where it was. He thought it was at home. She had a GPS tracked and told him to go to that address and see what's up. When he goes, Hannah lets him in. And she's like, "Oh, well, let me get the keys from Benny." She goes in the room, did not realize she was going to see Veronica straddling her son. But she did. Let me put my pearls on. So I can clutch my pearls. Let me put my pearls on real quick. Give me 1 second. Yeah, she's... So she told him, "Look, this is not a good time. Benny trying to sleep and rest or whatever." Benny come out fully dressed. He was not trying to rest. And she cussed out Miss Veronica, something terrible. Veronica didn't care. She's out of her mind. I'm thinking she's probably bipolar and she was in a manic state. Because when her husband told her he was coming home, and she said, "I'd like to see you try." And he went home. And she seen him in that bed. And she wouldn't get that gasoline to set that house on fire. I said, "Oh, she is Looney Tunes." And was sitting in the front smoking a cigarette. Talking about I tried to kill him. It wasn't an accident. I was trying to kill my husband. She was dead ass and y'all took it as a joke. She's screaming for help, people. She's screaming for help. So basically, Wyatt goes and does all of that with the DA. The DA is, basically trying to bring up a case, and her boss is like, "No, you're not." And so Wyatt's pissed and he's walking around, "Yeah, I'm telling on all of you. You all going to go to jail, blah, 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 blah." And he was like, "So you're going to go to jail." And Wyatt's like, "I don't care about going to jail. I don't care." So Jim took his ass to jail and basically made him trade places with the guy that looked just like him that they framed. Made him trade places with him, and in a secured setting, so-called, where Veronica knew he was in there and decided that he needed a little bit more punishment than just being in jail. So she made sure that a convicted rapist and murderer was put in his cell, and he absolutely sexually assaulted Wyatt. And when Jim found out, he was punching people left and right. I'm like, how is he able to fight all these people and ain't nobody, able to fight back? But this don't even make no sense. Quincy the only one that can fight back. Like, is this it? This all y'all gonna do? Y'all just let him do this to y'all? I don't get it. But okay. So, he had knocked so many people out and decided, hey, I'm not done. Because once he realized that it was Veronica, because she told him, "How was your son's stay?" She told him, so now he's out for blood. He done caught in a hit on her, a hit on the teacher that raped his daughter, a hit on the officer that allowed the bad guy to get in the cell with his son. He caught them all to be murdered. All of them, because he said that they still had one more favor to grant him. Now, mind you, Wyatt and Jeffrey have figured out where the car is, where his mother has been hiding it. And they decide that they're going to go, but they're looking at the lot and trying to figure out how I got over there. And then Jeffrey's mother, Veronica, pulls into the lot, and they're like, what is she doing here? Wife's like, only one way to find out. So they went and walked around the building, came back looking at the car, and then peeked through the window, and they saw, ooh-wee. They saw her and Benny making out. And yeah, they took pictures. Wyatt took a video. He's so petty. He took a video, and long story short, they went to the DA, told the DA their evidence. They got immunity, and as long as they testify against their parents. And yeah, they went and arrested all of them. All of them got arrested. And that whole affair is like crazy to me. The affair between Veronica and Benny, and how he's just started coming on to her when she tried to break it off. That didn't even make sense, because the whole time she was throwing it at him. So I don't understand, but you wouldn't have no show, right? I just like things to make sense sometimes. I know I'm missing something, so I'm going to sit here in silence for like 5 seconds. Give me a moment. Okay, so when they realized that, because the social worker for Quincy Jr. told Hannah that her daughter's job didn't check out, she couldn't wait to tell Benny. I told you, blah, 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 I told you. Oh, I'm so happy her house burned down. Now what's she gonna do? I'm so happy. But when she told him, it really hurt his feelings. And he went to the law office to make sure that her name was not on the door anymore, and it wasn't. So I don't know where his state of mind is. And this guy, Oscar. Oh, how could I forget Oscar coming into her life? Oh, Oscar. Oh, he's so suave. She should have went with her damn gut in the first place. This guy comes on to her, and he's flaunting his money, you know, renting private jets and blah, blah, and all of these things, trying to impress her, trying to make her think he's into her. And all the time, David sent him to basically get that money back. And he got about $4.5 million of it back from her to get back to Jim. So he was doing that as a solid to Jim. Jim didn't care, because Jim done attacked his wife, tried to choke her. And he told him, don't you ever put your hands on my wife like that again. And so he was trying to, I guess, calm things over, because after everything that happened, you know, with Celine, Celine, let's talk about this bitch. Oh my goodness, he loves me. He loves me. He loves me. You don't understand. Okay, her going on the news telling everybody about her 2 kids. I was so happy she did that, because now you ain't got nothing to hold. I don't like when people hold stuff over people's head to blackmail them. I don't like that. So I'm glad she got it out. And, you know, he got it out. But I guess Maggie felt like after that he couldn't run for governor. And I guess he had another thing coming. He just went on and confessed his sins and was like, yep, I loved her. I had 2 babies with her. And when things was over, I left her for dead. I did not go back to see about them cheering and everything. So I'm still running for governor. So he makes that announcement. And then David, it looks at Maggie, and she's like, I don't know why he's doing that. And he's like, oh, I'm still running. I'm just going to run against him. Split the ticket. So I was like, okay, David, you do have balls. But then Jennifer comes up with warrants for all of their arrests. Takes them away to jail. Lets Veronica know she got evidence. So I thought that was pretty cool. And finally, Quincy, you know, he went to see about his son or whatever in the hospital. He choked out the social worker, stole the paperwork to figure out where the heck Candace lived, and went to her house and attacked her and was trying to kill her. And Jeffrey had to come in the door and break it up and basically get him off of her. She runs to the kitchen, gets a knife, and she tries to stab him in the back, which she does, and he gets off of Jeffrey, comes back to her, basically trying to beat her and choke her and whatnot. Jeffrey grabs the knife, stabs him several times in the back until he gets off of Candace. And that's it. I was like, wow. Go Jeffrey. I really liked it. So I'm anxious to see what season 3 will bring. I'm sure I missed like 3 very, very major things, like, you know, the little girl's grandfather, when he tried to have sex with Hannah. And that other detective that was trying to get close to her, that busted itself over Mr. Cryer's house. I really wanted her to like him, and so I'm hoping that's not the last that we see of him. But that's pretty much no. And so at the end, Oscar did. The social worker was asking her, "How are you going to, provide for your son? You haven't taken the bar yet. You don't have a job." And so Oscar wires $500,000 to Candace's account, so that the social worker can see that she does have means to take care of him. She's like, okay, well, the judge will definitely probably consider that, means to be able to take care of him. Next thing Candace know, all her money gone. He done stole all her monies. $4.5 million of it. And then laughed in her face. And when she got ready to stab him, he attacked her, and that Quincy got him off of her. Then somebody came and got Quincy off of her. Everybody was beating Candace. So that I believe is the season in a nutshell. And if I forgot something, I'm going to cover it next time. And I do absolutely appreciate y'all staying with me and listening to my voice and my opinion about the whole thing. Again, if your mother is not accepting of you as a mother and she is always in your case about everything because you don't do it the way she does, ignore and continue. As long as it's working for you and your babies, do not let your mother make you feel like she can do it better. So that is my $5.02. Peace.